Hello, 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 hello. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. It's a little late, but I wanted to get this message out to you, and I'm going to do what I said I was going to do and start doing more of these videos on my Alexandra Loves page. Um, that is really where these videos belong.
How's it
They
going?
don't all belong on my personal page, so I'm going to share them over, and I'm going to encourage each and every one of you who are following me to go to my Alexandra Loves page. Go to my Alexandra Loves page. Follow me there. I am probably going to shut down access to my personal page where you might be watching this right now. Mainly because I'm getting requests from everybody, and I'm happy to help people, but what comes is with the awesome people who want to do the work and new friends and new supporters also comes some trolls and I'd like to just take everybody over to my Alexandra Loves page. So we're going to talk about two really important things. The first is a question that I get asked over and over again, and it has to be addressed right now. That is the name of my cat. So I'm going to show you right now. I have two cats. This is Bisou, the lap cat. He's an orange tabby. He's a marmalade cat. This, almost any time you see me talking to you, this is what's happening in my lap. Okay, so that his name is Bisou, and when I do the morning meditations, the free morning meditations on Alexandra Love's page, he's almost always sitting in my lap, or he's walking by, or he's looking for petting. Okay, so that's the name of my kid. The black cat is Cyrus, but he's not as much wanting to be in videos these days. Okay, so the other thing we're talking about today that's so important. This is what comes up in the Black mentorship for white people who are ready sessions. This comes up with almost everybody, whether they're black, white, red, or green. This is what's coming up right now for so many of us, and that is talking to our very stubborn family members, whether it be stubborn about their racism or stubborn about their ignorance, talking to them about the anti-racism, talking to them about taking action. It is something that has come up in these are things that come up even before we came into 2020 that is difficult for almost all the clients I work for, is talking to family members and friends, close family members and friends who just don't get it. And I know for white people, especially white people, this is a big challenge right now. It's a challenge that it has to do with generational gaps. It has to do with education, where you live, right? Exposure to the world. Okay, so I'm gonna give you two routes. There's many things you can do. Get creative. This is a time of being a peaceful warrior. You need to have many skills to get through this war that we're in right now, which is a psychological and energetic war. And it has to do with control, and it has to do with openness. It has to do with how you perceive fear and love. There's a war going on right now. It does not look like people it does not look like two armies right now, like against each other. It really is what's going on within us and how we project that out into the world and how we build our systems or tear them down according to that. So, and this goes out especially to my empaths and sensitives and anybody who's feeling highly sensitive right now, okay? So, I want to give you a tool to help you with this, and I also want to give you an option. Okay, so let's talk about the tool first. So you have this family member. It might be the patriarch of the family, or the matriarch of your family, or friend, a really good friend that you've bonded with, that you've gone through everything with, and you're at the impasse right now where you are wanting to do the work, whether it be about your own perceptions, your own identity, and with everything that's going on right now, and you are wanting to re-educate yourself, and you're wanting to help the people around you to re-educate themselves and to take action, or whatever it is, right? And they are just like stuck stuck in, oh, but black on black violence, and stuck in, oh, why are they destroying everything, and stuck on, oh, black people have no self-respect, and stuck in, is this really all necessary, and stuck in, I'm not racist, right? Stuck in all the ways that people use academics and intellectualism to bypass what is really going on. And so the first thing I want you to understand to help you with this tool is that when you come up against your family members or these friends that do not get it, aren't trying to get it, and you feel that even breaching the subject, bless you for those who are breaching the subject, even when you feel it coming up, you feel the poison. Remember, racism is a nasty, brilliant beast. It's an entity. Anybody who touches it, even if you're trying to do good, you're going to feel the poison. Okay? Remember that. Knowledge is power. So you're in this conversation, and you're entering into this conversation, and one thing that you need to remember is that they were miseducated the same way we were all miseducated. So remember that. We're talking about compassion here, right? So now, this does not mean, when I say compassion, let's get clear on this. When I say compassion, I don't mean compromise yourself. When I say compassion, I'm saying use it as a tool to understand what you're up against. When I say compassion, I mean really understand what this person who might be causing hatred to well up in you, that is so difficult to deal with over the years, right? Understand them. Understand that they are miseducated, that they are operating out of fear, and they are clinging on to the old ways for life or death. And also, yes, if what they are saying and what they're saying they believe in and what they're clinging to is racist, remember, it's an evil, brilliant, nasty beast, and it's an entity, is an actual entity. Okay, so they are also steeped in poison. So remember that first, that's who you're talking to. The second part of this is, and this is the tool, many of you are finding that it's not working to try to change their mind. And I have some people who are watching right now. If you're getting it, give me thumbs up, or if you need me to re-explain some parts of this, please let me know in the comments, okay? So you're trying to get them to see. You're having these conversations that are going nowhere. They are changing the focus of the conversation. They are possibly gaslighting you, deflecting. They are doing all the things that this psychopathic system has taught us to do so that we don't have to really look at what's going on. Okay, that's the education that we all have. Luckily, a lot of us have educated ourselves out of it and done the self-work and had friends to support us and call us out, and we've grown, right? But maybe they haven't. Okay, and so a lot of time we want to approach and we want to change their mind and we get them to see, and we want to maybe fight with them and we want to make sure that they don't take over our whole friend group, our whole family with their stupid ideas or their racist ideas or whatever it is, right? And many of you are finding that this does not work. It doesn't work. Let me tell you something. The conditioning of racism took many, many hundreds of years to build and make strong. If a person is not open and not looking to change their mind, a conversation with you is just going to cause you more stress, okay? And it's going to drain you, and it's going to make the work harder for you, okay? So this is what I'm suggesting that you do. When you approach the conversation, your only job is to be a revealer of truth. In order to do that, you have to be able to not be in your ego. You can't be in your emotions, and you cannot be in judgment or speak in judgment. No judgmental tones, okay? So when you approach the conversation, the person saying all the nasty things, or whatever it is, then your job is to just ask truth revealing questions. Why do we do it this way? First, let me give you examples. So they're saying like, oh yeah, but what about black on black violence? Like they do this to each other, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and you feel the yuckiness and all that stuff, right? So then your job, Okay, I'm not going to be in my ego. I'm not going to get emotional about this. I know who I'm looking at. I know I'm looking at somebody who's uneducated. I know I'm looking at somebody who's uneducated about this. I know I'm looking at somebody who's immature, stunted in this sense. I know I'm looking at somebody who's steeped in the poison of racism and psychopathy, okay? And the conditioning of that. Doesn't mean they are a psychopath. They're steeped in those behaviors, right? So you know who you're looking at. You're not in your ego. You're not going to put judgment into your voice, and you're not going to get in your emotions. Your job, this is peaceful warrior work. Your job is to reveal truth. So when they say, but what about black on black violence? They're doing this to themselves. Like, they bring this on themselves, blah, blah, blah. Your job is to ask questions like, why do you think that? What made you come to this conclusion? I see that you're really passionate about this, and I'm seeking to understand. Do you think that's really what's in their hearts? Ask for real. Ask for real. The job is not, don't have expectations that you're going to get anywhere. Don't have expectations that you're going to change this person's mind. Your only job is to reveal truth. Because I'm promising you this. Now, remember what I said before? All of this destruction of our system and building a new one, this is not something that happens in a few months or a couple of conversations. This is a long haul. This is your life's work. If you really want to make a change, you want to be part of it, you want to be active, this is life work. You have to keep going. This is a tool that's going to help you with the long haul. Okay? With helping this person in the long term. Okay? So you ask these questions, whether or not they buck against it or they actually answer the question, whatever it is, unless they have a serious mental condition that has to do with not feeling empathy at all, no matter how your conversation goes, they will never forget how you revealed truth in them, how you helped them find the seed of why they think what they think. They might not ever tell you, but they'll remember a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. What you're doing, this is a way of mirroring. You're showing them themselves. That's why you have to show up in no ego or no judgment, right? So I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, so this is the tool that I want you to use. And by the way, my sensitives, people who are sensitive, and my empaths, when you use this tool, so a lot of what I hear from you is like when you're in these conversations, it's hard because people are coming at you and you don't know how to like interact with that when you're feeling that nasty energy, but you don't know how to quite interact with the person and you want to make impact, but you can't. And then you're feeling that nastiness months, weeks later. When you can practice this, when you can approach without being your ego and without the judgment, without being emotional about it, when you start practicing these conversations, you will find that you won't bring that nastiness of what happened with you. You're actually going to start finding yourself leaving it in the conversation itself. The more you practice interacting this way, just reveal the truth. Don't judge them. Don't have an expectation of how it's going to go. Just ask the questions. Here's the other added benefit. So you're going to feel better about when you're interacting, especially person to person this way. Here's the other awesome part about it. There are other people around you who might be following that person in their leadership, whether you agree with it or not. There are other people who are watching. There are other people who are going to be affected by this conversation. And by the way you interact, you're teaching them how to question something that they don't feel quite right about. You're going to teach them to look for the truth and look for a deeper truth in whatever it is that they're faced with. That's the tool. I hope that's helpful to you. And last, I want to share with you, here's the other option. And it's not the most popular option. And I'm so grateful for those of you who are resolute in that you will have these conversations with your family and your friends. However, if you get to a point where it drains you so much to have these conversations with your family and friends, where it makes you quit, then maybe it's time to consider saying goodbye for now. That's not something that everybody can do, because sometimes you live with your family, sometimes it's just not something your family does, sometimes it's you know, a friend that you have a business with or whatever. But there is power. There is such deep power in just letting somebody know, I can't engage anymore because of this thing. And you have your way and I have my way. But I'm not going to engage with you anymore on it. I'll tell you really clearly. For me, my personal experience is that I started drawing a line in the sand with all of my friends. I started doing this a little while ago, but I really started doing this a couple weeks ago. And I finally started saying to people, hey, if you're not taking action, then we can't be friends. Don't get around me. This is not energy I want around me. That's it. That's my boundary. We're done. Right? Now, I didn't make that decision in emotion. I didn't make it in as a reaction to something. I just realized that I had arrived at that point. Oh, I don't need to carry that poison around with me anymore. I want to grow with people who are growing, and I want to grow with people who are educating themselves. I want to be supported and create this world with people who are asking the hard questions of themselves and other people. These people, the ones that are not taking action in this time, don't represent me, don't represent the world that I want to be in. So I said over and over again on Facebook, like, this message, hey, we're not friends anymore if you're not taking action. That's the boundary. I'll see you later. And I'll tell you something that came up that was so beautiful, and that is, so my exiting the union of those friendships, so many people, so many of my friends were like, oh, that friendship is of value, and I understand that I understand why this is important, and maybe it's time for me to take action. So you're going to find that if you take this other option, and taking real action, not just like, I'm going to post a few things and I'm done. I mean, like, really starting accountability groups and donating more than they normally would, or at all, and starting to educate themselves on anti-racism and whiteness and all this other stuff, and having organizing themselves to go to protests, because some people, for them, it is going to the protests. And so for me, in that sense, it was something that worked. It did not work for everybody, I know, and it did not work for everybody who wanted to stay connected to me but did not want to take action, and that's fine. I just don't have room for them in my life anymore. But please don't underestimate the value of who you are in your relationships. This is something that my friend said. Don't underestimate the value of who you are to people around you. It might be time for you to just say to some of your friends and some of your family, we can't be friends right now. It doesn't have to be about because I don't like you. It doesn't have to be about because I think you're dumb, or, you know, whatever. It just, let it be about you. I can't do this anymore. I won't do this anymore. See you on the other side, brother. See you on the other side, sister. Right? So that's what I wanted to present to you today. It's something that just keeps coming up in so many of the conversations I've been having. For those of you who are watching my videos, sharing my videos, tagging people in my videos, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's important to me to get this message out. It's important for all of us to grow together. Please always like, tag, and share. I am still doing the Black Mentor for White People Who Are Ready sessions. I still have open sessions that are the lower cost sessions. There's tons of those. Please take them. They are filling up quickly. I opened up a whole nother week of those. So please go and book those. And also, I'm going to start talking about all of this in a more spiritual aspect, because I do have my class Working with Your Ancestors in Spirit coming up. That is open to everybody. This was what I this is what I was all planning to do for June and July, and then everything got derailed, and I was called to start speaking about the racism and anti-racism, reaching out across the lines to all of our brothers and sisters, no matter what color they are. So please stay tuned. There will be more about working with your spirits and ancestors, especially in this time when our spirits and ancestors are demanding that they be heard. And it's necessary for us to be in alignment with them as we build this new world for every single one of us. So that's it. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. It means everything to me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Keep having those conversations. Use those tools. Okay.